All right. What's up? What's up? Let's see here. All right, we live. All right. What's going on? Let's see here. All right. What's up, TPE book fam? Hope everybody is doing good on this great Monday. Um, this is going to be the our TPE book study, the weekly study for Atomic Habits. I am so happy and I'm so grateful to be spending this time with you all this morning. Um, Not saying running a little behind, but trying to get my bearings here, making sure that everything is set and everything is straight. Good morning to everybody tuning in. I'm again, we're almost done. We're almost out of here on Atomic Habits. We've got one more Monday that where we're going to be canvassing this information and this data. I'm just thankful for everybody who's been joining along with us on this journey, going along, reading throughout the book. Hopefully, you guys are picking up some good tips and some good information on how to develop better habits, how to get incrementally better, 1% better per day. And as we continue to do these things, hopefully the goals and the aspirations that we have are becoming more apparent and becoming more realistic as we start to change up our goals. A couple of announcements here. Number one, if you want to extend this conversation and you want to go deeper into what we're doing, please join our Facebook community. Comment "I want in," and they'll get you access to our free private Facebook group where we're talking about the things that we discuss in the book. I go over lightly kind of what the subject matter of the title or the section is that we're going through in the book. But then in the group, I try to go deeper in terms of things that I've found success in and encouraging other people to share those things as well, kind of what their aspirations are and what they're wanting to do. And so those are huge. And that's a community that's growing that I think will definitely help you stay on target or stay accountable to the things that you want to do. On Thursday, January the 26th at 9 p.m., we'll have another late night chat. We had our first one a couple of weeks ago. Great conversation, great dialogue about just where we are in terms of what we're wanting to do and how this book is helping us get through those things. And so, without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and just jump straight into the third law, which is making it easy from the book, right? And so, if you're reading the book, you know that the third law speaks on focusing on reps. Getting the reps in. And really, to me, this kind of speaks to our tagline for the TPE as a whole is the progress over perfection. And so it's about, getting your reps in is more so about achieving progress and achieving wins and not only just trying to be perfect. I know personally speaking, one of the things that hold me back from going for new opportunities or trying to try new things is because I want to be perfect at it. Actually, I want to be perfect, and then I end up doing nothing because I'm afraid of what it might look like to other people or what it might sound like to other people. And so I've gotten to the mental space and I've gotten into the right frame of mind that will say that, hey, I'm going to just focus on doing the task and me being satisfied with the result and me being happy with the result and me understanding that it doesn't have to be perfect as long as I'm getting the wins under my belt that are getting me to a place to where it's ingraining in my mind this habit that I want to achieve. If those of you who've been, Facebook friends with me for a while or follow me on Instagram or just have known me, this current lane that I'm in right now is something I've been talking about maybe for close to 8 years or 7 years and never really fully taken the plunge to do it because I was too consumed with what other people would think about the content that I'm putting out. Or would I be comical or a joke? And then I woke up one day and I said, you know what? I would never get to a place to where I know and have the confidence to speak at a level that I think that I can speak to if I don't start doing it, if I don't start getting the reps in, if I don't start just stepping up to the mic and talking. And now that I've done that, I mean, and I just talked to my wife yesterday, in 12 months ago, I think I've never done a live. Now I'm going live every Monday. I'm presenting live content every day. I've been a part of a live podcast, getting ready to be a part of another live podcast. I'm going on other people's podcasts. I'm producing my own. So it's like, the confidence that will be built by you just taking the on the challenge to get the rep in. And here's the deal: the most important rep, in which I think I'm going to talk about this a little bit, is the first rep. The first rep is the most important rep that you'll ever take. So let's focus and value on just making the reps and focus on just getting started. Um, Habits form out of repetition. This is scientifically proven. So again, speaking about the reps, if you focus on not only the long term implication of the habit that you want to form, whether that's, hey, I want to live have a life that's focused around fitness. You might have an end goal in mind in terms of what you want to look like, or the weight goal that you want to achieve, but none of that matters unless you take the first rep. And so the first rep is the most important rep, and then keep making those reps, because those push the habit forming process in your mind. Number two, the law of making it easy speaks about the path of least resistance. And so we've got to think about, in terms of the things that we want to do, the habits that we want to form, what barriers do we have in place naturally that are stopping us from being able to reach those goals. The mind naturally wants to do the laziest thing possible. And I'm not calling anybody out there lazy. I'm not saying that you're lazy. It's just more so one of those things of your brain just is geared towards, well, how can I complete this task the simplest? Your brain is geared towards, how do I get to a point to where I can get from point A to point B with the least amount of work. And so when it comes to your habits, you got to think about, well, there's probably things that I want to do, but there's certain barriers in the way. Again, I go back to the example of, if you're wanting to meditate more, well, the things that you need to do to meditate, or to be more devoted to your devotional time, or to work out more, you have to make those things more apparent for you. For me, a prime example, one of my bigger goals this year is to read more. So one, I created a book club that kind of forces me to read, right? But beyond that, I originally had in my calendar to read at 8 p.m. I say, well, as I'm winding my day down, as I'm starting to think about resting, let me go ahead and put reading into my calendar, which I've later found out as I've been going through this process was a mistake of mine. Even though I'm winding down, I'm still committed to the family at that point. And so it's like, all right, well, what does it look like for me trying to focus all my time on reading versus spending time with my wife or spending time with my children around that time as we're getting ready to go to bed? And so I made a step change over the weekend to say, I'm going to move my reading time to my between 4 and 4:45 in the morning, where there's nothing going on. I have the opportunity to steer my focus on it, and really pay attention to what's going on. And I had the first day I did it, I had remarkable results, and so I know that I'm going to continue to move that reading time to the early, because I have the least amount of resistance for that habit. You know what I mean? And not to say that my family is resistance. It's just that it's just smarter for me to be able to put that activity that I want to identify with. I want to be. One of my identities is I want to be classify myself as a reader. And if I want to be considered a reader, I need to be able to read more often. And how do I read more often? Well, I need to pick a time during the day when I'm the least distracted. And so me moving my reading time from 8 p.m., which, it made sense at the time for me to do it, to in the morning, gave me less resistance in the context of trying to read. So that's been good for me. Also, again, in the path of least resistance, developing a lean mindset, just what is getting in your way, evaluating step by step what's getting in your way in terms of between you and your habit forming. Let's see here. The next part of the path of least resistance, really focusing on the trigger activity that starts and initiates the habit. Most of us focus on the habit as a whole, and we don't focus on just a trigger. And so if we start thinking about what the trigger is, if that's working out, putting the workout clothes on. Get really good at putting your workout clothes on. If you're wanting to keep your room clean, get really good at just making your bed. You know what I mean? If you want to organize your office, get really good at, making sure that the trash can is near and it's empty. There's a few initial tasks, initial triggers that go into any habit that we want to identify with, or anything that we want to do. And we need to focus on getting good with that first step first, before we talk about trying to get good at every single step. Because if we get good at the catalyst, everything else will follow thereafter. The last thing that's on my docket to talk about in terms of this, and I think I kind of spoke on this a little bit, is just the reducing the reduce your habits from a large picture to a smaller picture. Small bites. If you want to be an author, you say you want to write a book, but that seems intimidating. Well, it's not as intimidating as saying, "Oh, I want to write 100-page book" versus writing 1 page. If you focus on writing 1 page, so let's set a goal to write 1 page a week, 1 page a month. As you get that first page done, you get that first win, you get the confidence, and the dopamine loop starts to happen in your mind that, hey, I got this done. Hey, I've accomplished this, and you're gonna want to crave that feeling even more. And so you're gonna push you to write another page, and then before you know it, you're gonna have a chapter done. And then once you get a chapter done, you work on the rest of the book, and then before you realize it, you'll be finished. But it all started with you focusing on the 1 page. If you want to work out more, I say, man, I have a goal of wanting to work out an hour a day. Well, don't focus on working out for the whole hour. Focus on working out for 5 minutes. The author illustrates this idea and said, hey, if you get into the gym and get into the rhythm for working out for 5 minutes, your body's going to say, man, we're already here. Let's work out for 10 minutes. And then let's work out for 15 minutes. Let's work out for 20 minutes. And then before you know it, you'll be up to working out for an hour. And so it's like whatever that is that what you want to do is, for me, big focus has been personal development, becoming more fit, and then becoming more organized. And so I've been doing things that I've been tailoring my environment, and I've been tailoring my catalyst to be able to put myself in a position to do those things more often. And so, man, that's all I have for today. I definitely hope this time was beneficial. Again, let's jump into that private Facebook community. Comment, I want in. I would love to see you guys there. I would love to interact with you guys on a more personal level. I actually think that I kind of give more information there about myself than I would in the normal channels. And I get a little bit more detailed about some of the accomplishments and the things that we're doing and as it relates to the stuff that we're studying. Number two, don't forget we got the late night chat, and that will be for the community members that are in that group on Thursday at 9 p.m. Also, we have one more week of this book study. Then we're going to do the advanced tactics portion of this book in our private group. And then starting February, we're going to be moving on to UOU by Dr. Eric Thomas. I'm very excited about that study. I'm very excited about the direction that we're going in. And then once we end that book, we're going to be moving on to the next one. But then we'll be on book number 3 for 2023, which I think is awesome. Don't forget to tune into the Daily Dose every day at 4:30. We'll be live at 4:30 on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Beginning in February, also, I will be converting all of the daily doses and some of the book studies to audio form to be able to be consumed on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Because I believe the people who listen to this don't just listen to video; they listen to audio as well. And so I want to make that content available to you all. There's a lot of exciting things going on. If you're on LinkedIn, connect with me. Find me, Alexandru Seal. I'm going to be distributing more content there as well. And until next time, guys, peace out, man. I've enjoyed the time and hope you guys have a great week.